How is the family doing? What's going on, guys? It feels great to be back. I got to tell you, man, I'm happy to be hanging out with you guys tonight, watching some wrestling, AEW Dynamite, live reaction watch along, which we have not done since the November 9th edition of Dynamite. I've been super busy at work, among other things, which many of you know about, and we have not been up here for a Dynamite watch along in about a month and a half or so. So I'm really happy to be back here tonight. Really wish I could have been here last week for Winter is Coming. But I've been working a lot of Wednesdays at my job during the Christmas holiday because we have been so busy. So it is kind of, put the Dynamite live reactions off to the side for a few weeks, which I had a feeling would happen. So I appreciate all of your patience getting back up here. We got the Holiday Bash show tonight. We've got the continuation of the Death Triangle and Elite Best of 7 series. FTR taking on the Ass Boys, Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida. Danielson and Ricky Starks in the house, and Keith Lee and Swerve have a face-to-face along with the Book of Hobbs continuation tonight on Dynamite, so it should be fun. I did want to come up here, though, a couple of minutes early just to thank everyone for all of the amazing support and the well wishes this past week. Most of you know what's going on. I don't like to burden you guys with problems in my personal life or anything like that, but this is something that does affect the channel because it's somebody that you guys know, and that is I had to put my best friend, my sweet, adorable cat, Bub, who has been with me for about 12 years. He's been my best friend. He's been attached to me ever since the day that I got him, and had to put him down on Friday. Unfortunately, he has been sick all year. He got sick in February, or actually January of this year, and took him to the vet and found out that he had a couple of gnarly things wrong with him. He had a fungal infection called Cryptococcus, which he actually had before 3 years ago and beat. That had returned, and he also had the signs of lymphoma. And these are two terrible conditions that unfortunately the treatments kind of counteract each other. So he was kind of up Schitt's Creek right from the start, but they couldn't even do anything about the lymphoma until they tackled the fungal infection first and get that treated and worked on. And once they put him on the medication for that, about 3 weeks went by and he wasn't getting any better. He couldn't even stand. He looked like he was ready to die. So I called the vet and was like, what should I do? And they're like, you know what? Before you make any harsh decisions, take him to the ER. See if there's anything else they can do for him, just so you can tell yourself you tried everything. So I did. I took him to the ER in February, and the guy concurred, and he goes, I got to tell you, I would put him down very soon. I think the infection will take his life within 2 weeks. That's what the ER doctor told me, who has a lot of experience with this type of stuff that my cat has. And he goes, but again, before you make any decisions, take this home. He gave me some steroids to take home and give to Bub. And wait and see. He goes, give it a couple of days and then make the call. Well, I gave him the steroids. He got a little bit better the next day, got a little bit better the day after that. Then all of a sudden he could stand. Now he's meowing again, and then he started eating again. And he just slowly started getting better. The fungal infection, the problems with him started going away. He regained his strength. He was vocal. He was showing affection. He was running. He was playing. It was like he was back to his old self. But unfortunately, all of that was just going to be temporary. This whole time that Bub has had a great year, I knew that it was going to end, and that at the end of the day, he was still terminal. It's just the steroids were making him feel better and giving him his life back. So he was able to give me 10 more months of extra time. I thought for sure he would make it until the end of the year, but he's been declining quickly. It happened very fast. He lost the ability to kind of jump up here on the desk, which he would do all the time. I would show him on camera lots of times, and he started not being able to make that jump. So that was the first thing. Then it started getting harder and harder for him to jump on the couch, and his hind legs just pretty much basically went on him in a very short amount of time, to where on Thursday of last week, I thought that I would probably wait until the weekend and put him down like on Sunday night, or something like that. But then late Thursday night, he just let me know, he just basically told me, Dad, it's time. He tried to do something that he couldn't do, and he let out, kind of a meow that was a little bit abnormal for him. And I said, that's it. And I called the guy right there, had him on speed dial, 2:30 in the morning. I said, can you come to my house first thing in the morning? And he was here. And Bub was able to pass away peacefully right here on his own blanket, in his own bed, with me holding him, right here in his own room where he's comfortable. And I was the last person that he saw. So that, at the end of the day, gives me peace. And you guys all know what it's like to lose pets. We've all been through this. And maybe some of you who have not been through it are going to go through it in the future. If I had one recommendation for you, it would look up services in your area or in your town that has at-home euthanasia. Being able to put your animal down in his own home where he's comfortable, I don't know, is a great deal of comfort for me in terms of coping and things like that. Some people can't do that. They don't like to do it. They don't want to even be in the same room with their animals put down, but I believe being there with them is the best gift you can give them, and I was able to give that to Bub. So I'm very happy that he was able to pass peacefully and that I was able to, give him that life and send him on in a way that gave me closure to where I have no regrets or anything like that about his treatment or how I handled it. I made the best decision for him. I was not going to let him sit here with a bad quality of life. The vet assured me that he wasn't in any pain, probably some discomfort, but no real pain. And plus, he was still eating and meowing and purring and things like that, but he just lost his ability to walk. So I'm not going to make him live through that. You have to do the right thing. So that's what happened. That went down on Friday. I spent the weekend, obviously, in mourning and grieving that. And this is awful. He was my best friend, hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. But at the same time, it was, it's something that had to be done. And you just have to, that's your responsibility as a pet owner to do the right thing for them. And as much as it might rip my heart out, I have to think about him first. So that's what I did. And Bub has crossed over the Rainbow Bridge or whatever they call it, and he was a great pet and a great cat. So it's not going to be the same around here without him. Tito is a little bit nuts, and he's completely oblivious that his brother is gone, but I still have the little man here who's only 9 years old, and he'll continue to be around in the streams and things like that. But a lot of you knew Bub, knew who he was. I've talked about him, post pictures on social media, things like that, and a lot of you are aware of who he is and that type of stuff, and all of your support during this has been great. When I put up on YouTube, hey, I'm not going to be around for the next few days because of what happened, the outpouring of love and support there on Twitter, on Instagram, social media, and in general has been really awesome, and I really, really appreciate that from you guys. And you guys all made me feel really comfortable with ignoring the channel. Like, it just was not the last thing in the world I gave a fuck about in the last few days was coming up here and talking about anything wrestling related. I completely just kind of detached and did what I had to do to kind of just, grieve for Bub and then slowly work myself back into life, back into work, because that's what you have to do. You literally cannot grieve forever and have to get back moving here. And you guys did not make me feel guilty or uncomfortable about it at all. You were all, take as much time as you need, Greg. No big deal. Take your time. We love you. Condolences. That right there means the world to me. And that's why I wanted to come up here just a couple of minutes before Dynamite started and tell you guys that. So thank you so much for all the well wishes regarding the loss of my son. It's devastating. It just hurts. And it's part of life, though. He's not the first pet I've had to put down, but he's been my favorite pet by a mile. Never had a bond stronger with an animal than I had with him. And I'll have to do it again with Tito in a few years. And in my future life, when I have dogs or other pets, I'll have to go through it again. And so will you guys. But it just sucks, But anyway, we are 1 minute away from Dynamite as Big Bang Theory wraps up on... Wait, am I on... Yeah, on TBS. I was about to say, am I on Sci-Fi? I'm on TBS. Right on. So cheers to you. Cheers to everybody chiming in. I know I have super chats and comments to answer. I'll do that in a minute. Cheers. Here's to Bub. And thanks for being here, everybody. Let's watch some wrestling. All righty. Let me cruise. I might not have time to answer every single thing before Dynamite kicks off, but let me say hi to Zane G, David Brown, K-Dogs Kennel. Thank you so much. You've been one of the more supportive ones, Kevin. Thank you so much for everything you've said and done. Same to you, Zach and Deshaun Robinson. Ruben Litton, thank you very much, my friend, for the very generous $25 super chat. Hey, Greg, hope you're doing all right. Want to use this super chat to raise a toast to Bub. Well, here. He lived a full and happy life. Hope you, Elizabeth, Tito, and the rest of your family have an amazing holiday. Same to you, Ruben. Thank you so much for that. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that jazz to you as well. And thank you so much for the Bub tribute. Means a lot. Well, here we go. Holiday Bash is starting off. I missed Winter is Coming last week. I assume that Winter did, in fact, come. I did see some highlights. I'm liking that Jungle Boy Hook pairing. What should their tag team be called? The Pussy Smashers? My God. I did see that Ricky Starks and MJF match, too. Went just the way I kind of predicted it would, or we did. Like, we knew MJF was going to drop the belt to his first challenger, but we also knew that Ricky Starks needed to take him to the limit, and I think they accomplished that. And Danielson chases away MJF. So I suppose that's going to be what, our Revolution match? MJF and Danielson? Oh yeah, and props to Zach. Excellent idea. Zach was like, we should get a bub emoji. Excellent. I wish I would have thought of that 3 days ago. I would already had one available to you, but I'll do that tonight. I'll make a bub emoji. I need to update some of those emojis anyway, and it'll be available on the next stream, which I believe will be Friday. I think we're going to try to do a Friday afternoon kind of winged eagle, because obviously it's Christmas holiday this weekend, so no podcast, no watch along for a pay-per-view, but maybe we'll come up here on Friday afternoon prior to SmackDown, and I'll kind of catch up on some of the stuff I missed, the Sasha Banks news, some more Mandy Rose stuff, all sorts of shit going on that I have not talked about in my absence. So we'll try to come up Friday afternoon and take care of that. And then in 2023, we'll be diving right in. Watch-alongs, podcasts. We're going to be doing Royal Rumble watch-alongs on Sundays throughout the whole month of January. It'll be a hoot. Leonardo. Oh, yeah. And cat COVID. Yeah, animals can get COVID. My cat did get a COVID test, actually, when they were analyzing them or checking them out. Thank you for that. The Juliet and Domination Warrior. Roddick, good to see you. Deshaun, thanks for all that love. Spaz Phoenix, thanks for that, my friend. Same to you, Zane G. It's all part of life, man. Shorties, I can't read that sign. Welcome, Ricky Starks opening the show. Let's see what he has to say. It's a fucking dope shirt, isn't it? Mwah. Maxwell won like a coward. A pair of these penises? Do you want to? I think one's enough. I'm worried they'd start arguing with each other or something. Yeah, that's what I'm so glad that they didn't give Ricky Starks this match and then forget that he existed, you know? AEW has a tendency to do that sometimes. Because I said a couple weeks ago, Ricky Starks isn't going to win the title here, but there damn well better be a revisiting of that, provided he performs well, and I think he did. What's up, Yachiro? What's up, Big J? Good to see you guys. I haven't been here in 2 weeks, so help me out with some likes. Hook this video up. Smash the like. Ricky Starks and Jericho. Who beat Jericho last week? I didn't see that match. Mario Andretti or something beat him? That's awesome. Was he in a race car? A lot of people were comparing it to 1-2-3 Kid and Razor Ramon, but it was a competitive match from what I understand, where Razor and Kid was just a squash. Kid got lucky. Oh, yes, Michael, I forgot to throw that in. When he came here to the house, I was able to say what I wanted done. So he's going to get cremated, be in a little box that's engraved. I even carried him out downstairs and put him in the back of the guy's vehicle. And then I have the carrying case or the carrier that I got Bub the day I adopted him, that I got at the shelter. I have that with his adoption paperwork. The blanket he died on, the shirt I was wearing when I was holding him covered in tears and snot, along with a couple of his toys, and then his ashes will go in there as well, and that will be his permanent Bub tomb, and it will remain on the shelf in every house I live in until I die. Maybe people think that's nuts, but it helps me grieve. So I'm not really a tattoo guy, so I'm not going to go get a tattoo of Bub on my arm or anything. That's kind of the way I tribute and show respect. That's my way anyway. And, of course, you got to – oh, wait. Let me get rid of those. No, of course, now I can't show it because I have notifications on it. There. And then, of course, the phone. The little guy.
I've been watching you for a long time,
Ricky Starks and Jericho next, huh?
And I saw you last week, and you're right. You did come this close to winning the World Championship.
Action Andretti. Oh, thanks.
You're not a dollar store version of anybody. You are $1 million talent.
Ooh, you're not a dollar store version of anybody. You're $1 million talent. I like that, Jericho putting him over.
And I guarantee you will be a world champion someday. But you're just not quite ready yet.
Not quite ready yet. MJ Parker, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
And I don't want you to be a flash in the pan.
Yeah, David Brown, you know, so many of you. I'm not saying anything that any of you can't relate to. All of you have got some sort of story. Oh, my dog or my cat of 10, 12, 15 years lost, passed away. It's gut-wrenching. It's like your whole life. I had Bub since I was like 32 years old.
Everything it takes to be a big star here in AEW. All you need, though, is a little influence, a little advice, a little Chris Jericho.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, Bub only lived to be a little bit over 13 years old, so he died pretty young. And I adopted him at a year and a half old, so I only had him like just under 12 years. But he only lived to be 13, maybe 13 and a half. That's it. It's really sad. He deserved to live to 16 or 17. He was a good boy.
If you say Sammy sucks, that means I suck.
If you say Sammy sucks, that means I suck. Oh, Danielson and MJF at the Seattle show. Okay. Yeah, I thought Revolution was a ways off, so that might be better. Oh, they're offering him a spot in the JAS? Ricky actually would be pretty good in that. I love Ricky, but I do not like the footwear. Why is that the style now? Why do guys wear dress shoes with really short pants and no socks? I will never be able to wrap my head around that and understand why that's in and why guys put that on and be like, oh, yeah, I look fly, and why women look at that and say, ooh, that's hot. What the fuck is wrong with people? It's the stupidest look I've ever seen in my life. Those shoes are fire. They're sparkly. I feel like Ricky Starks, you're kind of tailor-made for JAS, but... Danny Garcia is my favorite. Check out the glasses he's wearing. Jobbers. Saying a dirty word. Jobber Appreciation Society. Jobber Appreciation Society. I like it. I like it. Kevin, thanks for that, dude. I'll answer that super duper in 1 second.
Here's the thing. Those two little jazz holes, which, by the way, you can have. That's free. Jazz hole 1 and jazz hole 2. You have not done anything.
Those pants are the perfect length, but they don't even go all the way down. Why do people want pants, short pants? I don't get it. I guess when I was a kid, there was a bunch of stupid shit in style too, so I guess I shouldn't judge, but man.
And Sammy, honestly, I couldn't care less about you, my man.
Hey, what's our venue tonight? Where are we at? What city? Is that San Antonio? That ceiling looks like that San Antonio building where like Survivor Series 94 was in. That's not it though. It's a smaller building. Looks similar though. Yeah, Juliet, that's what I was just saying. I mean, I can't sit here and like throw too much shade because the stupid shit that we thought was cool looking. equally stupid, just from a completely different direction. There's finally, we got to the challenge. Uh-oh, here comes Jake Hager. I saw that hat. Oh, Jake's going to do the pose. And now they're going to take out poor Starks. Who's going to save the Stark man? Oh, poor Ricky. This looks like a hate crime, like they're beating him up because of what he's wearing. Shorty's Jericho tattoo is stupid. Who's Shorty? Oh, they are in San Antonio. It is the Freeman Coliseum. That's the one. I recognized it. I recognized the building. Oh, here he is. Is this the kid? He's in shape, isn't he? So it is the Freeman Coliseum. Yeah, WWE's ran a lot of shows there. Split-legged to Jericho. He's helping up Ricky Starks. That might lead to this is WWE. We'd go to commercial and come back with an impromptu tag match in progress. But this is AEW, so it'll probably be done a little bit different. Or they will book this tag team match for Rampage on Friday. It's probably what they're going to do, most likely. Let me cruise back up here. I owe some shout-outs or something. Kevin, K-Dog's Kennel. Appreciate that very generous 20 spot there, my friend. Just want to add to the pub donation. I never met him through the years, but got attached to him. I'd like to help out towards any expenses he may have. Cheers, bub. We love you. Thank you so much for that, Kevin. Very, very generous of you. His expenses are taken care of. It was not... The crazy expense really wasn't that expensive. I mean, it costs about maybe at the end of the day, everything, like $600 to have him euthanized and cremated. And well worth the price, to me as a pet owner anyway. You can go cheaper if you don't want to keep him or have him cremated, then it'll probably just be half that. But it's definitely the right thing to do to get it done at home. I think it's just, it would have broke my heart to have Bub in his fragile state in a strange vet room on a cold steel table, just being home. He just went to sleep, That's all. They just put him to sleep. He was passed out. He probably didn't even know what was happening. It was just very comforting, All right. Oh, it's time for we're going to do this right now. First match is going to be, what are we on? Match number 7. I think it's 3-1 Death Triangle, right? All right. Here we go, boys. This is an elimination match for them, right? You got to win here. It's so good to see Kenny come back in such good shape. I'm okay with this match not being the main event. They're having 7 of them. They need to be the main event every week. So the main event tonight, I believe, should not be this. It should be Hikaru Shida and Jamie Hayter, because that's for the women's title. So that's going to be our main, most likely. Might be a great opportunity to do an angle in the women's match. I mean, if that match is going to be the main event, are you just going to have a simple victory there with Hayter retaining over Shida, or is this where you do a Britt Baker turn or something? I've been out of the loop, so I don't know what they've been teasing in recent weeks. But if that match is going to main event, it feels like something should happen. Maybe Paige comes out. I don't know. Here comes the Triangle of Death. I didn't know Pac broke his nose. Or he broke something. He's wearing a face guard. Michael, maybe it's the Italian in me, but it's about showing off the shoes. That's why the style is showing past the ankles. And for the record, I personally don't like them. I do think like it's a European trend that made its way over here. Because I always thought I saw that a lot. in the European countries, and then it started coming here. Because here in the States, it feels like the trends kind of start here in California and just move east is generally the way it always tends to go. As somebody coming from somebody who's lived in the East Coast and understands how it kind of hits you like a wave or whatever. But that trend, it really did seem like a European thing that has made its way here. Maybe like a common look among soccer players or something, and now it's kind of like the norm everywhere. And I just think it looks weird. I just can't get used to it. And plus, whenever I look at it, I think of how I would feel wearing that. I would feel incredibly uncomfortable. I don't want cold ankles. I want, if I'm not wearing socks, I'm probably just wearing flip-flops, with shorts. Oh, man. I can't. Conkies. I'm trying to read these signs, but they're pretty hilarious. Nakazawa's in here? Is this legal? Rick Knox. There's an elf. Oh, Cutler. Oh. Cold spray in his face. Elf Cutler ate a super kick. This match is a mess. See, there's so much going on here. Another reason whoever was complaining about this match not being the main event, this is a predictable match right here. The Elite are winning this. You're not going to end this best of 7 right here in the middle of a show on a match with elves, and trash cans and partridge and pear trees and shit. Like, no. Elite will win this. It's going to carry into probably that show in the Forum in LA in a couple of weeks. Oh. Yeah, the Elite are winning this. Oh, it's no DQ. Okay, thank you. I forgot that they are changing the stip every time, so this is no DQ. I still think Elite are winning, but thank you for pointing that out. Because I was like, why is there elves? What's going on with the referee? Now I get it. We got a We Want Tables chat. Really? Audience, do you really want tables? It's not like you've never seen tables before. Oof. It's funny that back in the day, like, 70s and 80s, like the main or the prime wrestling foreign object would always be like a steel chair. And then when things got a little nuts in the late 90s, the table has now become as common as the steel chair, whether you're pulling it out from underneath the ring and setting it up, or if you're slamming somebody through the announce table. That stuff now is as routine as steel chairs are. And that's pretty incredible. So what else, what in the next generation, what weapon can we add that will be, besides a stupid trash can and that stupid shit, but like what other like staple weapon can we add or that might already exist? What is Penta trying? Penta can't move that Christmas tree? Must have been anchored. Penta is struggling with that Christmas tree. It's falling apart on him. Are you guys watching this in the picture-in-picture? Dude, obviously he's never put one of those together. And they're setting up tables. I don't think Christmas tree would work as a staple weapon. Ed Smith, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Greg. Condolences on your recent loss. I like seeing Starks in a program with Jericho. Keeps him in the main event scene. Until he's ready for the belt, that it does. And I was worried that, after he obviously would not win the title from MJF, that AEW would just, maybe not feature him on TV once he got cooking like that, because they have stunted the growth of some of their own people doing that type of shit. And I was worried that would happen with Starks, but they've got him involved right away now with Jericho. And I think a tag match is better, because if you do Starks and Jericho right away, I don't think Jericho's going to lose twice in a row, to Andretti and then to Starks. So maybe you book the tag match for like Rampage, Jericho and Sammy or something like that against Starks and Andretti. Have Jericho and Sammy win, or Jericho and Hager win, whichever duo you want to do. Have the JAS win, and then maybe book Starks and Jericho for that January 11th Forum show in a couple of weeks. Build to it, have Starks get a big victory there. Yeah, Zane, I should have thrown in Ladder in there as well. Ladder, same thing. Thank you for that $2 too. Yeah, Ladder seems to be just as common these days as a chair and a table, which is why the three are lumped in together on pay-per-views. Yeah, Miro's another guy who is, every time he's been on TV, has been over and crowd has been into him, and then they say things like they don't have anything creative for him. Like, that's the type of shit I'm used to hearing from WWE, not AEW. But the Christmas tree fell down. They have not been able to work out the tree. That's not going to feel good to bump onto this thing. Ow. Oh, I thought that was Kenny. That was Matt Jackson took that bump. Nick with a high cross on all three of them. Oof. This feels like one of those WWE seasons beatings matches or something where there's pumpkin pies and presents and all that shit. They're going to do that, I bet, on SmackDown on Friday. There will be some sort of stupid match like that. What's up, Chris? Thanks, dude. It's very good to be back on YouTube. That is for sure. I've been missing it. I've equal parts missed it, but also wanted nothing to do with it at the same time, if that makes any sense. But that's kind of been my mindset for the past few days since all that happened. It's like I really missed it, but I had zero motivation to work on anything or do anything. Just needed to break. Bad timing, though, because now it's a holiday weekend, and so I'm going to be taking another break. But we'll be up here Friday for a podcast. Get caught up, back in action. Big Moonsault taking out two of them. We've got Kenny on one. Kenny's got the trash can on the buckle. And now he's got Pac. I don't know what. Is he going to do a rolling? What is he going to do? What's he going to attempt? Oh, he is going to. Moonsault with the trash can. I didn't know what Omega was going for. Ooh, broom wrapped in the barbed. I got this cleaner. Remember that tweet? Oh, God. He's going to sweep motherfuckers up with the... Oh, don't take it with... Oh, that's horrible. That's not the Triple H gimmick version from the Royal Rumble. That is real barbed wire. So far, he's not giving it to Ray on his shirtless body. Now he might be. Oh. Yep. AEW isn't going to do everything perfect, and one of the things they are doing terribly, terribly wrong is Miro. Don't know what the story there is, but they're not going to use him. Let him go, because he can go back to WWE and do fun shit. Rusev Day could be reborn. All right, they cannot. I love that tree is just giving them problems. They cannot. He tried to throw it out of the ring, but half of it stayed behind. Big double elbows through the tables, or at least one. One by Matt. Is Nick going to hit his? No, Nick's going to swanton. God. Nick's looking old, man. Oh. Oh. Get that off of you. Oh, that had to hurt. Kenny Omega pile drove Phoenix, but Kenny's ass landed on the barbed wire broom. He's got to be so cut up. That might not be quite as bad as the injury that X-Pac gave to himself, but he's going to have a variety of scattered lacerations on his buttocks. That's got to suck too, man. It's hard to heal shit on your ass, you know? Because you're always sitting on it. Girls always grabbing it. Things like that. I mean, at least with me. I don't know what Kenny goes through. Oh, there we go. Big V trigger. Yeah, Elite's winning this shit 100%. They're not going to go down 4-1. Oh. You know what my early prediction here is? Is that the Elite lose the best of 7 in match number 7. Oh, there's a hammer. No DQ. No, they're not going to get this. Nope, Kenny kicked out. I think the Elite will win this one. I think they'll win the next one. And then I'm assuming that January 11th show is where match number 7 will be if needed. That's where you do the match 7, and that's when Death Triangle wins. And the team to beat the Death Triangle for the titles is House of Black. And then Kenny and the Bucks had their run here of about 10 matches, probably total, as trios. And they can move on to singles and tag teams again. Oh, wait, or it might end right here. I could be completely wrong. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, no. He's got brutal. Somebody's got to. Matt, come on, help Kenny. There we go. Matt saved the day. Thank you so much, Ramon Coffee. I appreciate that. Diet water, same to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. They've all got 3 hammers? This is murder. Kenny will die if you all hit him in the head with a hammer. There we go. There we go. They're going to dispose of those 2, and Phoenix is going to be left for Kenny. Ooh. Did Kenny get hit in the face by something? He's selling it. Spike tombstone. Nick is on one leg on the top rope. God. Yeah, Elite wins. No shit. I would love Adam Cole to show up anywhere, Juliet. I don't even care at this point. Just give me some Adam Cole back. I miss him. But I'd be cool if he turned up in that angle. Be a good way to move Kenny onto a singles match or a singles program, and then the Bucks can do whatever. But I don't even think at this point, since they've been together since they've had so many of these matches, and we knew that the trios championship was probably just going to be a temporary deal for them anyway to get the belts over and shit like that. But then the scrum gate happened, and Because you got to think if the Elite win here, then they have to have a whole run as trios champions. And is that what they're going to be doing? Kenny's got that match with Ospreay coming up, and yeah, now this post-match beatdown is pretty gnarly. Triangles fucking him up. A lot of blood on Pac's belly. Yeah, it looks like it's Nick who's busted open. Huh. Utter bloodbath. That it is. Those guys are bathing in blood. It just looks funny with oh, he took the hat off. I was about to say with Cutler in that elf costume. Watching him try to be serious wearing that is pretty funny. Yeah, let's take a look at this footage from last week because I probably didn't see it. There's MJF still running. You gutless coward. Do you see what Enzo said? Like, I'd tear MJF up on the mic. I'd be like, I'd be willing to see that, actually. Enzo and MJF. MJF is a 10,000 times better wrestler, though. I even think he's better on the mic. But Enzo could hold his own on the mic. I don't think he could hold his own in the ring. Or I know he couldn't hold his own in the ring.
Guess what, Bryan Danielson? When it comes to the reign of terror, you will eat less than you desire.
I like that he calls it the Reign of Terror. Nice touch. Nice touch. Named it after his future boss. Gotta love it. Spaz Phoenix, thank you for that $10, my friend. Hey, Greg and Chad, I'm working on an end-of-the-year pod and want to know what's the biggest headline of 2022. There's only one. I got Vince leaving, Cody returning, Punk getting screwed. Any suggestions to my Twitter? Thanks. Without the others, any one of those would be the top headline of any other year they were in, provided they didn't have all that company with them. Nothing is going to ever trump the Vince story. That's going to be the biggest story of the year. That's the biggest story of the decade. Cody and Punk are big stories, but not anywhere close to the biggest stories of the decade. But I think Cody returning would be the biggest story of the year had the Vince and Punk stuff not happened. I think Punk, I don't see anywhere Punk got screwed. Punk got taken care of marvelously. Punk screwed himself by shooting off at the mouth. This guy was given the world by his boss, and it was even told publicly with his boss sitting right next to him that he is the greatest part of this company, and without it, this company doesn't exist. And Tony Khan laid everything out on the table for CM Punk, gave him his title. Then when he got injured, he still kept the title on him, refused to strip him, did the interim deal, gave the belt back to him, had him beat Moxley, who was invincible, fucking juggernaut on a roll and hotter than any wrestler other than Roman in the world right now. No, Punk did not get screwed in any way, shape, or form. Punk screwed himself. It's his own fault and his own fault only, and that's it. Doesn't matter what Hangman said. Punk fucked himself. Period. But in terms of that being a huge story, it would be easily the top story. That whole fight and scrum comments and the locker room fight and the suspensions and all that shit, that would have been, just like the Montreal screw job, it would have been all we were talking about all year. You definitely would have had sides because just like in the Montreal screw job, you have people that think Vince was in the right and Brett was in the right, just like CM Punk. You have people insisting that CM Punk did nothing wrong then when any working and functioning eyes or ears will tell you otherwise. But you still have those type of camps and you still have those type of debates. And I think the Punk stuff, much like the screw job, will continue on for years and years and years in terms of fans, debating it and stuff like that. The only problem is it happened in the same year that Vince and his genetic, horny, perverted, weird, oddly shaped jackhammer got in all kinds of trouble and had to retire from WWE after 40 years running the company. And the Cody return would be, I guess, the equivalent of, a major defection in the WCW or WWE days. You know, I wouldn't put it as high as like a Hall or Nash because of how impactful that was, but it might be along the same lines of a Jericho or a Bret Hart or a Big Show or something like that jumping ship at the time. So Cody deserves it too. But Vince, it's Vince, Spaz. I mean, we all know that. Vince is the story. Vince is the story. Oh, wait. Andretti's talking.
Of the decade, I defeated the Ocho, Chris Jericho, in the middle of that ring. And ever since Tony, my life hasn't been the same. I have been getting an overwhelming amount of support and love from all the AEW.
I never even heard of this guy. Where'd he come from? He's in good shape.
And while all that
He seems not
that the Appreciation Society, they would
intimidated by the stage he's on.
by some new rookie and not have built up frustration and anger.
He seems a lot more authentic in this promo than some of that weird shit we see in NXT.
They take that anger out on Ricky Starks. But Tony, I was out there and I had Starks back. I had his back because I did.
Oh, he's ready to fight. He's ready to fight 2.0. Oh, check out the suspenders.
Someone even say, man, you're on fire.
Oh, that was a good fireball. I wonder if that was a pre-tape because you don't hit fireballs that perfectly live. That's where you do a wrestling fireball. Don't do it in the ring. Do it on a backstage seg where you can reshoot it 9 times and get it right. I will be interested to hear if that was taped or not. I am 101% certain it was. Because that was just too perfect. That fireball hit him right in the face. Renee in the ring. Interviewing Danielson. I love it. I like this in-ring interview. Sorry, Tony. As much as I love Shivani, Renee is slightly easier to look at. I'm going to go get another Stella. 1 second. I need something to open this with. All right, Renee and Danielson.
Bryan, this is the first time that we've really heard from you since your mentor, William Regal, was brutally attacked by MJF. I know just how close the two of you are. My question is, where does this leave the Blackpool Combat Club?
Where does it leave the club?
Well, I don't exactly expect the Blackpool Combat.
Oh, yeah, Saraya is another big story.
He's done some pretty bad things. But here's the thing. I first trained to wrestle right here.
In San Antonio. That's right. Shawn Michaels trained Bryan Danielson, right?
My very first match was 15 minutes up the road at a place called Far West Rodeo.
Far West Rodeo sounds exactly like the type of place that would be in San Antonio. Far West Rodeo.
See me there doing some horrible country line dancing.
What would it be like to live in Texas? Texas people, what's it like there?
First trained by Rudy
Elizabeth was born in Texas.
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels shout out on Dynamite. Love it. Danielson, just don't start a fan time page. You might offend a delicate Christian.
The man who turned me into the wrestler that I am today is William Regal.
More William Regal love.
And not only did he turn me into the wrestler that I am today, he turned me into the person I am today.
Yeah, tough bastard.
And I understand that Mox, Claudio, and Wheeler, they don't have this same relationship. But when Regal was in the hospital, and I thought I was never going to see him again,
I think it's ironic that Renee is the one asking, hey, what's the latest with the Blackpool Combat Club? Renee, if anybody would know or have a little bit of an idea, it would be you, considering you're married to one of them. Shouldn't Shivani? Maybe Shivani should be doing this interview. Oh, they're trying to yes it. These 4 people are trying to get the yes going. Are they going to do it? Nope. Sit down. Sit down.
Gets to come here. And I loved having William Regal in AEW.
Mild reaction for that.
And one thing William Regal taught me is that there are consequences to your actions. One thing MJF needs to learn is that there are consequences to your actions.
Yeah, I hope William Regal recovers soon, too. Best of luck, William Regal, with your recovery.
Word that you said. There are consequences to your actions when you hospitalize somebody that I love more than anybody on this earth.
Yeah, San Antonio's had a few good Royal Rumbles, but not at Freeman. They've all been at Alamo Dome.
You call me a coward. MJF, get your ass out of here.
I'm trying to think what other pay-per-views other than Survivor Series 94 have been at Fremont or Freeman Coliseum. I know there's been a few others. I just can't think of them. Oh, Ethan Page is coming out. Spaz, I owe you another one. Shit, sorry. Thanks for that other $10. Sorry, I phrased that wrong. I meant what other stories are there from? Oh, okay. Duh. From 2002. Vince, Punk, Cody. I have already listed. Looking for suggestions so I don't miss any. Sorry, I misread that. Yeah, Saraya coming back to the ring and Sasha. What else? Ramon Coffee, thanks for that $2. I missed that one. Can you request a watch along? Yes, you can. Anybody can request one. What you got, Ramon? I think also Spaz, or doesn't Ronda's return count, even though we all hate her? She came back at the Rumble, right? Shop at Trader Joe's. What's wrong with Trader Joe's, asshole? Cauliflower Cheetos. I don't eat those. Just because you shop at Trader Joe's doesn't mean all you eat comes from Trader Joe's. I go to Trader Joe's sometimes, but I also eat the fuck out of regular Cheetos. I don't care. And you can't find those at Trader Joe's. Can you grow some hair?
And this crowd very politely telling you to shut up. I couldn't hear. And it sounds to me like, did you just insult me by calling me Vegetable Man?
Vegetable Man. You raggedy bitch. Oh, man. You raggedy bitch. I love that. That's a shirt. That's a t-shirt right there. You raggedy bitch. Oh, Spaz, you don't hate Ronda. Well, good. It's nice to see people going against the grain. I do. It's the one thing that I am on the bandwagon of. I hate to be a bandwagon jumper. I hate it. But when it comes to Ronda, she's terrible.
If you want to turn me into a vegetable, why don't you turn me into a vegetable right here, right now?
Turn me into a vegetable. Which one? Which vegetable do you want to be? I feel like I'm an eggplant because I could be Greg Plant. Get it? It's like egg, but with Greg. See what I did there? Do you want me to re-explain it? You raggedy bitch. These pants are staying on. Okay. Next week. But I might not be a raggedy bitch by then. Where are they at next week? Anybody know? What's their town? Look at Maxwell. I love Maxwell's jacket. That's fucking awesome. Happy Hanukkah, Max. So cool. Spaz, 5 more. If Becky wins the Rumble and Rhea beats Belair before Mania, how about Ripley versus Lynch versus Rousey triple threat to unify the belts? Yeah, you could do that. I'd be totally down with unifying the belts. But I'm kind of operating in my mind under the assumption that they're not going to do that. So every match I kind of have in my head for Mania doesn't involve that. But if you are going to do a unifying the belts scenario, I'm perfectly fine with that. I just don't know how WWE leaves Charlotte out. The fans might think it's perfectly fine to leave Charlotte out, as do I. But WWE probably doesn't feel that way, and they're going to find a way to wedge her in there. You know it. I'm still going Bianca and Ripley at Mania, man. I'm just launching Ripley at Mania. That Judgment Day has been designed, it feels like, to get her over. She's beating up dudes every week. I'm having her win the Rumble, and I'm having her win the belt at WrestleMania. And I think it would be really cool if the last person she eliminated in the Rumble was Charlotte to make up for that WrestleMania 37. Then she wins the belt at WrestleMania, and then Charlotte and Ripley like face at SummerSlam for the title, and fucking Ripley beats her. Charlotte and Tessa for tag champs. You did that 5 times? You thought that was worth 5 comments? No. Tessa's not going to get hired. Tessa has no name. Tessa has no recognition. She's not good enough to risk the type of problems she could cause by bringing her into her locker room. You already have talent. You have talent. It's just as good as her. It's not like she's already main evented WrestleMania. She's not a CM Punk type of name where it might just be worth, the risk to bring someone that well known. Nobody's chanting Tessa every week. Tessa, if she debuted in WWE, she'd have the same reaction that Bronson Reed got on Monday. Not one at all. It ain't worth it. She's worthless and useless. And offers nothing that WWE doesn't already have. Yeah, Beth is going to come back too and eliminate Rhea. Okay. I think we need to do a Rhea and Beth match, but I think Rhea needs to beat her. I'm just going all in on Rhea Ripley here. I would do Rhea and Beth at the Rumble 1-on-1 and have them both be in the Royal Rumble match. So you might be I wouldn't want to put Beth over Rhea. If you did Rhea and Beth, I'd want Rhea Ripley to win, unless you did a really convoluted match where there's a lot of interference, not only from Edge, but from Judgment Day members. And then when the smoke clears, Beth is able to roll up Ripley and beat her and win. And then Rhea goes into the Royal Rumble a couple of hours later and wins it. I think Beth Phoenix is going to be a challenge on the road to WrestleMania for Rhea, a speed bump. I don't think she's going to be somebody that's going to get a win over her, not the way that Rhea's been built up. If you're building up Rhea now, I'm not even thinking about beating her legit. And if I am, it's certainly not going to be by a legend. It'll be by somebody else. But then again, we saw Bianca go down pretty quickly to Becky Lynch at that SummerSlam that I was at. Who'd I meet there? Zayn? Who else? So they could do anything. You raggedy bitch. Such a funny description of Danielson. Cracks me up. Because he kind of is raggedy. Hey, it's a commercial from for the very same streaming app that I use. What a coincidence. That's like Lou Gehrig died of Lou Gehrig's disease. What are the odds? But he did it. Spaz, 10 more from you. Since it's my birthday in 3 hours. Holy shit. 3 hours and 10 minutes. Gonna wish Punk returns in the Rumble to eliminate Cody after Cody almost goes the distance. Punk versus Cody at Mania, the match TK could have had. He could have had that. He could have. He really could have. Punk and Cody at Mania. I think that's very possible in our imaginations. I don't know if it's possible in reality, but man, that would be... I would just love to see the Punk and Cody Mania graphic, you know? That would be so cool. The build would be interesting as hell. What's up, Samoa Joe? Double champion. Nobody can complain that they're not using Samoa Joe. Mofo's got 2 titles. Joe, already know Joe cleans up nice. Dude used to color commentate for WWE. He always looks sharp. I mean, he's no Greg, but he's sharp. Oh, okay. Wardlow and Joe next week. December 28th. We still got one more Dynamite before the year's over, guys. And once again, happy birthday to you, Spaz. I don't want to ask how old you are. I'm sure you're as old as dirt, just like me. You're probably, 100? Something like that. However old you are, congrats for living another year. Because being old is like that, man. Just kidding. I'm sure you're younger than me. You're much younger than me. Okay, so we're going to get more Hook and Jungle Boy stuff. The Pussy Slayers. That's what they should be called. Okay, so he's facing someone one-on-one. So there's going to be a run-in, a beatdown, a save made by Jungle Boy, and maybe a post-match embrace by the young sexy studs. WSSs. For those tabulating at home. Crash, SummerSlam, possibly to Detroit. I hope it goes there, man. Hasn't been there since 93, so it'll be the 20-year anniversary, which would be perfect because WrestleMania did the same thing. WrestleMania went for 20 years after WrestleMania 3, going a full even 30 would kind of be like the trend for Detroit. Hopefully it'll be in Ford Field. I wouldn't fuck with Comerica Park. Don't even bother with the potential for rain. You got a stadium. It's right there. Roof on it. Just do it there. And that's what I'm hoping they do. I have no reason to make that trip to Detroit. I was in Detroit a few years ago, but I don't think it's a trip I would make next year. I'm going to try to save my wrestling experiences for the West Coast out here. For LA and Vegas. Phoenix even I could go to. Red Rum ends it. Oh, no. They got Jungle backstage. Oh, Stokely. They've caught themselves another raggedy bitch. Oh, ooh, that's a bump. I mean, that's not a gimmick trash dumpster there. That's the real deal. Oh, it's got to smell like legit. That looks like a real dumpster. I'm sure the trash is not real, but the dumpster is. It's been used, that's for sure. Here comes Moxley. We got a couple of those big dumpsters like every restaurant does out back. And every now and then I'll even find myself going out there to throw something away. Like if I'm cleaning out the office or trash up there or something, I hate it when I lift up the thing and I throw the bag in, and then when I drop the lid, it like fans that hot garbage air like right in your face. I'm like, ugh, there's this big blast of it. I'm like, fucking barf. Especially in the summer when the trash is literally steaming, like kitchen's throwing bags of shit out and it's just steaming hot garbage. Restaurants aren't always glamorous. Yeah, it looked like he did slam his head into the dumpster. Did you say Moriarty hurt himself? Is that who Hook just beat? Moriarty? I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, yeah. Oh, he was on the, it was on the, I was like, that wasn't him. That was on the beatdown of the trash can. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to watch it now. Oh, he did. Yeah. Let's see that again. I'm rewinding it to see what Moriarty did to himself. I was like, Hook did not beat Lee Moriarty. Sorry, it took me a second. Let's see. I think when Moriarty hits him here, well, I don't know why I'm pointing. You guys aren't rewinding. I am. He didn't look like he hurt himself. I don't think he hurt himself. He looked fine. He was just selling. His head didn't. I thought his head like smashed into the thing, but it didn't. Jungle Boys looked like it did. Holy cow. Brooke Burke. Is she still around? She's in that commercial? She looks the same. Brooke Burke. I forgot about her. She was probably super hot like 20 years ago now. She looks the exact same. No more cartridges. Yeah, I rewound it, and he did kind of spear Jungle Boy into the trash can, but Moriarty's head did not come in contact with the trash. It only came in contact with Jungle Boy's torso. I think Moriarty was just trying to sell it like he really slammed him in there. Basically like, man, if this hurt me, imagine how much it hurt him, was the point of the sell, I think. Who out of Franco Harris? Who's Franco Harris? Rest in peace. God, I hope he's not another Power Ranger. I got a mouse. Franco Harris. Let's just search him. Oh, football player. Steelers legend, 72, running back. Franco Harris. Doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, I guess his days were over before I was really watching sports. Rest in peace, Steeler legend. I like that Mox is just still wrestling hard every week. Got Claudio backing him up. back with that Ring of Honor title around his waist that probably should not have been taken off of him to begin with in retrospect, but they did, and we have created the Ocho now. He was the Immaculate Reception? He was? I didn't know that. I guess I didn't know his name. I forgot what year the Immaculate was. It early 80s or was it late 70s? Oh no, 72, early 70s. Yeah, 1972. Holy shit! 5 years before I was born. Anniversary of that catch is in 2 days. Holy shit! The 50-year anniversary of that catch is in 2 days. That's crazy. Very interesting. I didn't know he was the Immaculate Reception guy. I didn't know that. Two days before his jersey was due to be retired? Wow. I know the other headline I saw, it said he hosted a radio interview just hours before he died, so it's a sad death. And Mike Leach passed away, too. It was kind of sad. He was young as hell. Come on, get in there. I like how like without Regal, they're just backing each other up, you know? Props to AEW for saying, we're going to try to continue this. I mean, we printed the merch. I'm trying to think, like, when there's enough time that passes, if they wanted to, you know, if they wanted to keep the Blackpool Combat Club going, but they wanted to have a new head of the Blackpool, a new Regal figure, if they felt like that was somewhere where they wanted to go. Maybe not replace them outright right away, but have them continue on this way for a little while and then bring in another legend. And if they decided to do that, who would that legend be? Who would be a good candidate? Probably nobody. I feel like this could just lead to some tag on Rampage or something because we got Dante and Claudio out there. We might just run this back as a tag on Rampage or something. Spaz has got a Nigel McGuinness suggestion for the new manager of the BCC. That could work. Maybe not like the leader or have like have Regal's spot, just be like a new person. And he could be more of a mouthpiece. And not like an inspiration or a manager, just okay, they've already got shit announced for Rampage. Thanks for that. Rico should do half of your contracts at each company. I don't know if we would ever see that level of cooperation, but that would kind of be cool if he could kind of bounce between both. I mean, it would be an interesting angle. It would be something they've never done before. Like if somebody from one company, like somebody this will never happen, so this is just hypothetical. But like if somebody from WWE, not a major star, but maybe like a medium-sized star, showed up on AEW and got in the ring and was like, hey, I'm here for 6 months, and then I go back. I'm here to have some fun. I want to take on all challengers. I want to try to win some championships. I've gotten a 6-month pass from Triple H to go out and spread my wings, and I wanted to come here. So I just want to come here, see some old friends, work with some new faces, and see if I can be a competitor here. So when my contract comes up in a couple of years, maybe I might want to sign here. It would be different, but it would be surreal to see something like that happen. If Triple H and Tony Khan were able to say, this guy, what's the big deal? The fans would trip out. They'd get a kick out of it. It's not going to harm or benefit you too much or us too much or anything like that. It's kind of like a wash. Neither company is getting one over on the other. It's kind of an everybody wins type of scenario. It's got to be like a perfect, Goldilocks zone like that to where it's just perfect for everyone involved. And whenever those situations come up, I think these companies should consider working together. I've talked about that before with, future WWE Hall of Fame inductions or something like that. They might need somebody like they needed Ric Flair that year when he was working for TNA. And if something like that comes up again, like how I thought they should have sent Billy Gunn to do the DX thing, it would have been cool if they worked that out. And apparently it was kind of close to happening. So I think if the right situation presents itself, that I think it would be really fun for the fans to see some sort of cross-promotion like that. As unrealistic as it sounds, there's been a whole bunch of unrealistic shit that has become realistic in recent years. So, and when you hear about how close Billy Gunn actually was to appearing on Raw, I certainly don't have the mindset of we should rule something like that out. Darius is trying his art out here with Mox. Oh, nice. I don't know what you call that. Reverse cutter. Darius with another high cross. Moxley just rolls right through and just stomps his face in. Let's end this. Paradigm shift him and put him to bed. Marcus the Entertainer, I have not heard if they said the women were in the main event, but I fully expect them to be because that's a tag team title. Or I'm sorry, that's a women's championship match. And that match has to main event. And I think it would be a great opportunity to drop an angle, to do a Britt Baker turn or something like that. Because I don't think Hayter's going to lose the title. I think she'll beat Shida. So we'll either have a Saraya run in, or possibly a return, possibly a debut, or possibly a heel turn. That's what I'm predicting in the main event. One of those 4 things to happen. And the win. Finally, Moxley puts the kid down. NXT Championship belt right there in front of the camera. Be funny to see a former NXT champion walk past that title. 10 more from Spaz. If the companies agree and they want to do an all-titles gimmick like Kenny did, who from WWE or AEW would choose to be the WWE and AEW champ? Like the world champ? Yeah, I know. You know it's not possible, just like I like to hypotheticalize. That's the thing. I don't think WWE would ever do something like that at the very top, But when you have somebody as strong as Roman, assuming he's like out of the picture and completely distracted or busy with something else, and the belt is on somebody else, I'd probably go Cody. I'd go Cody, Spaz, in that. I'd have Cody be the WWE and AEW champ because there's a lot of history and story with Cody already and that AEW title. And there's a story with him in the WWE title. Cody is the only person, really, when you think about it, in the wrestling world that has a current story with both championships, because technically just because he left AEW doesn't mean that stipulation went away. If he ever chose to go back there, he still cannot challenge for that AEW title. unless the new contract voids that stip and it resets. But in kayfabe, you would think that that is a stipulation that is still in effect, even if he were to return to the company. So Cody is the only guy in my mind that has a current story with both of those titles, and that's pretty fucking uncommon to come across. So I think it would be Cody. Have him win the WWE title and say, you know what, there's one more thing. The company that I worked for before I came back here and won this title, something happened to me there that I haven't felt right about, and I want to go back and fix. I got screwed in a match with a stipulation that said I'm no longer allowed to challenge, or I'm never allowed to challenge for their world championship. And I know, had I been given that opportunity, that I would have won the title. I had that taken away from me by a dirty little fucker that might be on his way here as we speak next year. But I want to go back as champion of this company, and I want to go there and I want to win their world championship just to prove to myself that I could always do it. And I've asked Triple H for his blessing in this journey, in this adventure that I want to go on. I've talked to Tony Khan, and he's on board with it. And I'm going to go make some appearances for AEW, and they're going to give me a championship shot at whatever fucking paper, at Double or Nothing. And the WWE champion shows up at Double or Nothing, wins the AEW title, celebrates with both titles. And then maybe as compensation for that, Cody takes the AEW to WWE, but an AEW competitor chases Cody to WWE and beats Cody in WWE for the AEW title on a WWE stage. So you had like Cody winning the title in AEW, but then they get it back in front of WWE's audience or something like that. But in a complete fantasy land with no rules and no egos and no beefs and no nothing, that would be awesome. Seth Rollins, another excellent candidate. I think Seth Rollins would look great with the AEW title.
My first memory at 3 years old was watching
Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Have you ever seen someone gargle and choke on their own blood?
No, I haven't.
Smelt your own burning flesh?
Nope, never have.
As a child, I was beaten. I was robbed. I've been stabbed.
Jesus.
I've been shot.
Hobbs had a rough life, huh?
People would do this to a child. Monsters. But what they didn't know is that they created a monster themselves. And now it's time
See,
that I spill everyone else.
this is kind of like this book of Hobbs is kind of like the Lacey Evans shit that WWE was trying to do, only it's good, which is a big difference. Set up and shot and delivered so much better than some moron. My life has been so hard because of vaccinations. Ass boys are getting more and more ridiculous. Here comes FTR right on. Shout out to Asheville. Yeah, FTR's had a rough couple weeks. Double dog collar match. So we still got a couple tag team titles. Juliet, yeah, I saw all that stuff. I mean, at least she deleted it, but And it has nothing to do with, oh, it's just her opinion. It has nothing to do with opinion. It's about promoting false shit to 1.4 million people. And she should be called out for that and dragged in every way possible. It's not like, oh, just let her have her opinion. It's not that. That's not what this is about. And to think that is to be obtuse as fuck. I'm like, it's dangerous, idiotic nonsense that when you have a celebrity following, you should have a responsibility to not be a fucking dipshit to millions of people publicly. Be a dipshit behind closed doors. Believe you can cure COVID with Diet Pepsi and Bisquick. I don't give a fuck. But don't be spreading that shit on social media to a bunch of impressionable minds that are equally, if not dumber than you. It's irresponsible. And it makes me mad. Big atomic drop to Colton. How are you going to sell that, Colton? Oh, Dax isn't going to let you. Or, I'm sorry, Cash isn't going to let you. Cash Wheeler should adopt Wheeler Yuta as a son, and he could be Wheeler Wheeler. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, Dax is really struggling. I've been seeing a lot of the FTR and CM Punk photos and shit. That's kind of funny. If anybody deserves to beat the Honky Tonk Man's Intercontinental title record, yes, I think it should be Gunther. We got a long way to go for him to get there, but that would be great. Especially considering how many competitive matches he's having on TV much more frequently than Honky did. Is going to make it hard for him to surpass that run just because of how the business is structured now. Because Honky, we'd have to look at the stats, but I'm pretty sure Gunther has already had more TV title defenses in his short run than Honky did in his entire run. Honky had a lot of title defenses, but they were probably all live events, ones that actually happened on Challenge, Superstars, or Primetime Wrestling, or Saturday Night's Main Event. I can't think of many. He had 2 defenses against Savage that I can think of, one on Saturday Night's Main Event, one on the main event. I don't know what else. Brudai, he defended against Brutus, at least on pay-per-view, maybe on TV. He probably only had 4 or 5, so Gunther's already pretty close to that, you know. I don't think the Lacey and Sasha stuff is linked. Like, with Lacey being there, I don't look at it as, oh, Triple H would rather have Lacey than Charlotte. Or than Sasha. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm just looking at Sasha Banks' situation. WWE, for whatever reason, thought that it wasn't worth paying her asking price, so they let her go. I don't think it really has anything to do with Lacey on that. It's just those are 2 different situations. But Sasha believes in her value. She said as much on Broken Skull Sessions, and Sasha could have taken it. You know, Sasha could have taken the money that WWE offered her. It's not like Triple H doesn't want Sasha. Sasha doesn't want the money they're offering to her. Those are 2 completely different things. So, yeah, I think Lacey's a moron, but I'm not looking at it as, oh, WWE prefers Lacey over Sasha. It's 2 completely different things. Not comparable. And I think it's kind of cool that Sasha's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom and potentially wrestling in Japan. That's nuts. Good for her. I mean, Sasha Banks staying in WWE would have been fine, but if she would have stayed in WWE, all she's going to be doing is giving us more of what we've already seen from her for the last 10 years. This is different. She's about to go to Japan and make some history. And would you rather do that or just go back to WWE to resume a very successful career where you're going to win some championships and stuff, but you're just going to be resuming doing shit you've already been doing for 10 years? If she's got an opportunity to make money and more money, going out there and being her own boss, doing her own thing and making her own way, I'd do it too, to be honest. I can't blame her. Oh, we can pre-order the AEW tag team titles? Have they been making those? Yeah, we got pink and black on the other team facing FTR. What sense does that make? Happy holidays to you, Hassan Taro. Good to see you. Double leg. Oh, where'd I go? Sorry, I have no Riddle and RVD picture. Whole bunch of stuff going on with Riddle. I don't know what to make of that. I'm going to read up on that. We'll talk about it on Friday. Posted a shirtless update today about him being in a great place in front of a bonfire with a girl or something. It's hard to shake that party in life, man. And Riddle, I think, is right in the middle of it. Or was. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of Bret Hart and Billy Gunn matches or physicality. They were in the company at the same time for a few years, probably about 4. I don't know if Bret Hart ever had a match like with Rockabilly. He might have. I know Owen and Davey worked with the Smoking Guns all the time. But I don't know if Bret Hart and Billy Gunn ever worked together. I cannot think of Bret Hart and Billy Gunn being in the ring at the same time together ever. It's possible that Owen and Bret might have faced the Smoking Guns in '93. That's possible. It's also possible that Bret might have faced Billy Gunn when he was Rockabilly in '97. Or even when Billy Gunn first turned heel in like late '96, but shit, I don't know. Nice reversal by the Ass Boy. Wow, Ass Boys with the big upset over FTR. Ass Boy number 2, I don't know their names. Ass Boy number 2 pinned Dax Harwood. A weakened, mind you, Dax Harwood with a little bit of extra leverage outside from Ass Boy number 2. And Aubrey did not see what was going on and counted the 3. Wow. Big win for them. I hope Ass Boy number 1 thanks Ass Boy number 2 for the assist. Oh, thank you. Who sent me this screenshot? Deshaun. What is this? Sonjay is doing a acclaimed, or Sonjay and Jay Lethal. And they got Satnam Singh. Granddaddy ass. Get a load of this fireball. Look at that shit. Right in his face. In the face. In the face. That is so gnarly. That right there is a banner, is a social media banner. Yeah, women's title better be the main event. Yeah, I am very, very unfamiliar with Rick Ross. I know he's a big legend. Elizabeth cracks up that I don't know who the fuck he is. It's a good thing that there's many, many miles dividing all of us, and, there's a screen separating us, and we're not in any physical closeness, because if we were, all of this whiteness would come off of me and spread and infect you guys, and then you're going to be dorks too, and you're not going to know who anybody is. You're not going to know who any of these rappers are, or what anything mainstream is. I'm not going to understand anything Keith Lee and Swerve are talking about, because I'm just uncool, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So I'm just glad that you're not near me, and I can infect you with my whiteness. Yeah, I know he's a rapper and music producer. I know he does those things. I just don't know much other than that. I don't have any Rick Ross albums, Last album I bought was Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 2. It's been a while. I know what word means.
Let's make this clear. Keith Lee, it's time to bring out the young legend. Y'all make some noise for Swerve.
Come on, Swerve. I like that they got this guy moderating this.
Give us that music. Let's make this special. You a big motherfucker.
Oh, you a big motherfucker. I don't think Keith Lee. Oh, TBS. I'm sorry. Don't cancel AEW. When WWE brought Fred Durst out, all he did was flip off the bird. So they don't know. I'm sure when Rick Ross is on stage, he doesn't have to worry about not saying the F word. That's so awesome. So awesome. You a big motherfucker. TJ Johnson, is good to see you. Same to you. That deal. Vast Star Wind. Anybody else chiming in? What's up? We don't put up with accusations. That's so stupid when everybody says, you need to keep the eyes in your back of your head. How do you suggest I do that? How would you do it? Oh, no. Oh, it's Parker Posey? Fucking Parker Posey. There's a whole lot of NXT going on right here with these three. Isn't Parker Posey in the Trust community? What is the faction that he's in? Or the Circle of Trust? He's in the Circle of Trust, I think. Yeah, none of this is, what do the kids say, hitting? None of this is hitting for me. I do like Swerve a lot, though. I feel like he just has star qualities. Parker Boudreaux. What was I calling him? Oh, now who's this? Who the fuck? Is this Ascension? Is that one of the Ascensions? No, that's definitely not. Well, I feel the same way the crowd in the arena does. History's being made. Is Rick Ross in on this? They're Mogul affiliates? I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. I thought that one guy was one of the Ascension. Connor? Poor Keith Lee just getting worked over, and Rick Ross loves it. So Swerve has got Rick Ross on his... steel ring steps. They got a couple of 2x4 studs in there for extra support. I think that's funny. Oh, Lee. Oh, yeah, probably for this purpose. They got 2x4s that just don't match under there, obviously. Oh, and a cinder block, too, of course. Is he going to stomp the block? How's this going to look? How's this going to look? Pretty good. God, that was a good spot, but with the fake cinder block, the styrofoam cinder block. Yeah, I thought Bronson Reed got no reaction. He looks like Hogan in '87 compared to this. Yeah. Well, nobody gives a shit about Parker Posey, and the other guy nobody knows, so at least Bronson is somewhat recognizable, but shit. I mean, there's a lot of guys who have debuted and gotten, like, in terms of new people, like if that guy with the tattoos or whatever, you know, if you've never seen him before, no matter what promotion you're in, whether it's WWE, WCW, AEW, if you've never seen him before, you're going to get no reaction. Goldberg got no reaction when he beat Hugh Morris. I mean, he got some people in the crowd were like, oh, holy shit, that's pretty impressive. But for the most part, no reaction when he came out, no nothing. Crowd didn't react or pop or scream or anything. Brock Lesnar, when he debuted 20 years ago and showed up the night after WrestleMania, he hit the ring, started beating up some guys, but the crowd wasn't like going out of their mind because they had never seen him before. They were like, who's this guy? So I'm not going to criticize a company for debuting somebody that we've never seen before because you always have to debut for a first time. You know, there's always going to be a time when you debut when the majority of the audience hasn't seen you. And a lot of times those debuts do happen on large stages. It's not always just developmental. You know, sometimes you do introduce a guy to your main TV audience, and the main TV audience and the crowd in the arena isn't going to know who they are, so they're not going to react. It's just logic. So I'm not going to criticize them for that. But I think that segment in general was pretty poor. But it wasn't because they debuted a new guy. It was just because the whole thing felt off. I have Goldberg's match in its original form taped right off of TV, and you can see me flipping back and forth. Even I wasn't glued to the TV when Goldberg debuted. I'm like, oh, he looks a little bit like Steve Austin. Back to Raw. You know, didn't think much of it at the time. Yeah, Jamie Hayter got not much of a reaction, too. Sorry, I didn't give you a warning that I was stepping away. I just went to go get another cold beer. And since we have a commercial break, 1 second, I'll be right back.
Welcome back to AEW Dynamite, where just moments ago we saw a highly coordinated assault by Swerve Strickland and his Mogul affiliates on his former partner, Keith Lee. But coming up,
All right, we're back. Ooh, $300,000. Three Kings Christmas Casino Trios Battle Royal. Holy shit. So what happens here? Does one team have to survive, or does one member of the team have to survive? I'm going to buy a new house. I'm going to buy a chainsaw. I'm going to buy Trent's mom a new house. That's awesome. I don't know where you're living, Trent's mom, Sue, but you're going to need more than $300,000 to buy a house. Unless you live in buttfuck nowhere on the edge of a cattle farm underground. It's probably going to be a little more than $300,000. Jamie Hayter and Sheeta. Yeah, WWE had plans for Brock from the get-go. Maybe they have plans for him from the get-go. You don't know that. None of that applies to why guys aren't recognized when they debut for the first time. It doesn't matter what WWE's plans for Brock were. When he debuted for the first time, nobody knew who he was. That was the point. There's really no other point other than that. All right, Sheeta. I think you're going to put up a good fight here, but you're not going to win. Thank you so much, Jimmy Fingers, for that very generous super chat. Not to change the subject, but condolences on Bub Greg. People are deceptive by nature, but our pets are not. My dogs are the only beings I trust. Yeah, Bub was my guy. He was just always there, like my constant, you know. So it's really hard to kind of get used to life without him, but it's also just what you have to do in life. I just refuse to just sit here and just be depressed all the time. You just got to get up and keep moving. It sucks, but it is what it is. And life, man, it's not fair. But I did talk a lot about Bub and the whole situation at the beginning of the podcast here. We came up about 10 minutes early, so I can give everybody a nice thank you and appreciate all your support and that stuff. And I talked about Bub and, you know, and his passing this week. So if you haven't heard that, you can scroll back and listen. But I appreciate that a lot, Jimmy. And, yeah. There was a really awesome amount of trust between me and him, which was what was really cool. He was just like my guy right from the word go. Like, we bonded at the shelter. I wasn't even looking at him. We were looking at baby cats, brand new kittens on the floor, and then he was up a little higher in a cage. And he meowed, like, and his bub meow. He was like, "Rare." When I kind of looked up, and the lady was like, "Do you want to hold him?" I'm like, "Sure." And I held him, and he just melted right in my arms. Didn't even move. He was very submissive, not crazy, not spazzy, just super nice and chill. And I was like, I want him. He called out for me and basically said, "Take me," and I did. So we had the perfect beginning, a very sad end, but also a very peaceful end for him. So I moved to California to be his dad. That's what I always say. All right, Jamie, this is it. Big title defense, main event TV match for you there, kiddo. So this needs to not only be a win, but a statement win. I feel like we can get an angle at the end of this. Like I said earlier, I feel like Hayter and Shida is going to win with Hayter retaining the title, but I also think has a very big potential for a turn by Britt Baker, a run-in by Saraya, or both, or some sort of a debut or return, something like that. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I'm not sure if I see Hayter just simply beating Shida, retaining the title, celebrating, and the show goes off the air. I feel like they wouldn't end Dynamite that simply, if that makes sense. Maybe they will, but in my head, I feel like they're going to close the show with something happening. And I think the likely scenario here is a Triple H, Randy Orton type of situation where Hayter wins a hard-fought match here against Shida, beats her clean. Britt comes in the ring to seemingly celebrate with her and tell her she's proud of her, and then boom, turns on her. Kicks her ass, beats her down, and the show goes off the air with Britt Baker holding up the AEW title. That's what I think they might do. Or somebody other than Hayter holding up the title as the show goes off the air. Or Hayter will just win, beat Shida, tap her out, and we'll all go home and have cookies. MJ, thank you. That's amazing, Greg. Yeah, we have a great story. And Bub was, to a fault, amazingly friendly. I've always said he was 90% dog because he loved people, complete strangers. My other cat, Tito, is a psycho. He trusts me. He trusts Elizabeth. He will tolerate anybody else that he knows, but really it's me and it's her, and that's it. Any stranger he will hide. He will hide hard, like you can't find him. He hides harder than normal. He doesn't go to a normal hiding spot. He goes to a Tito hiding spot, and he's terrified of everybody. Where Bub, he could just be on Monday. 1 week ago, just about a week and a half ago, 5 days before he died, we had a bunch of people over for Christmas, and he came downstairs and was surrounded by 10 people. They were petting him. He was happy. He was purring, and he's never been afraid of strangers. When I lived in apartments, and like maintenance men would have to come over to do any work, like fix the dishwasher or work on something, he'd be all up in their business. You know, they'd be like, have their tool bag on the counter. He'd be jumping, sniffing all in it, trying to get in their face, sniffing their face. He just didn't care. Like, he was not scared of anybody, which, you know, makes me happy that he felt that comfortable and content that nothing really frightened him. I always joked if I ever got robbed and I wasn't home and people broke in, he'd show the burglars where everything is. Oh, here, guys, here's the TV. And here's where Greg keeps his cash. Oh, my dad has got some nice electronics over here. If you'd like to take a look, they're over here, right this way. Like, I think he would show them where everything is because, yeah, he wouldn't hide. He wouldn't be scared. He would automatically just assume that they were friendly people because everybody he ever met was really nice to him. So he was great. He was well-loved. Elizabeth says that he was overloved is what she calls it, and she's right. He was. If you can love an animal too much, I definitely did with him. Without him meowing at me that day and me taking him, you know, he probably would have been euthanized. You know, he was a year and a half old, and, you know, they probably would have eventually had to put him down or something like that. And I'm just glad that I saved him, you know. I spent all day on Sunday, probably spent about 7 hours organizing every picture I could possibly find of Bub and, of course, Tito. Like, I have years and years of pictures and videos, but I don't have them organized that well, and all my iPhone dumps and picture dumps that I've done throughout the years, going through and creating, a folder, breaking down in years and how many pictures and videos I have of him. I have a photo or a video to account for every day of his life. I mean, just thousands of pictures. So I'm really happy because there's so much else in my life that I never documented. All those wrestling shows I went to, WrestleMania 3, all these great shows that I went to, I have so few pictures of. Some great life moments. I have so few pictures of those moments. But at least with Bub, I have like so much recorded of him and his life and stuff. So that's kind of comforting. So I kind of spent the day organizing that, backing it up, making sure I, back up all these pictures onto a hard drive, and I just have them forever and that type of thing. Pulling in existing photos off my phone and getting those on there, and creating a Bub, the Life of Bub folder, which has photos of him all the way dating back to 2011. All right, we are back. It was getting kind of gnarly during the picture-in-picture. They're on the outside of the ring. They're still out there. Hader's tossing Sheeta back in. Plus, I feel like Hader was, even before she won the title, I felt like she was ripe for a babyface turn. So that's why I feel like we could get a Brit heel turn here at the end of this match after Hader wins. Brit turns on her. Sheeta's going to keep bringing the wood. Nice suplex by Hader. Wow. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. I spent a lot of time researching and reading about, what that can do to your other pet when suddenly half of their life is missing. But Tito seems to be handling it fine. He does not seem to be that freaked out. He's going about his business. That's why I'm kind of happy he's a little bit clueless and oblivious, because if it would have been reversed, if Tito would have died, Bub definitely would have noticed. He'd probably be pretty uncomfortable about it. I just know him, that he would have definitely known something was up and probably been wondering what's going on. Tito, I'm kind of happy he's a little bit not right, because he doesn't seem to be any wiser, which makes me happy. Even though they were pals, they slept together, they did everything together. Tito does not seem to be too concerned. But he's lost a lot of interaction with Bub anyway over the past few months because Bub's been so sick, So maybe that's helped him get used to it. But Tito's chilling. He's sleeping right down here like nothing's going on. I don't know. I'm not sure if Sheeta is stronger than Hader. Let's not be ridiculous here. Hader is a tough one. Yeah. Come on, Sheeta. Ocho. I love that they hit the Ocho. That's great. Ocho. Is that what we're doing now? They should try to get that over. Well, I was about to say, because then they could start doing it at WWE shows, but the minute somebody climbs the ropes to do the 10 punches and the fans chant Ocho, WWE will instruct talent via a text message or email or some sort of... oh, shit. Some sort of edict will come down. Don't do that move anymore. Damn, I guess that didn't end as badly as I thought. I thought Sheeta was in some trouble there, but Yeah, and doing any bumps like that, that ending part of the ring, the part right on the other side of the ring ropes, right on the edge, they call that the ring apron. And the word is that when you land on that spot, of all of the other spots in the ring, of that big square ring, the apron apparently is the hardest part. It's a little known fact. But like if you do a lot of research on pro wrestling, eventually you'll come across that obscure fact about wrestling rings and how that outside of the ring, once again, to remind you, is called the apron, is the hardest part of that entire ring. That's why you guys subscribe to me, for insider information that you wouldn't get from anywhere else. Maybe one day I'll explain to you guys what kayfabe is. Maybe one day when you're old enough, we'll get into that. I'm here to educate. Thank you for that, Yankees fan 512. Appreciate that. Getting through it, man. Got to get through it. Like, no matter what I go through in life, I always insist on mental toughness. It's imperative to me that I always just get through it.
Here's what. You connect with Credential's rock-solid team, serving over 50 million people with investment, insurance, and retirement know-how. Who's your rock? Visit Credential.com or speak to an advisor today.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, that deal, anytime I was talking about anything regarding the circumstances of Bub over the past, couple of weeks with his illness and his death, and when, it became clear that I was going to have to do it, so many of you, just about everybody, shared some sort of similar story that you personally went through. And again, that's stuff that really helps, because when you lose a pet, I'm not like the only person sitting here going through this. Like literally everybody here in the chat knows what I'm talking about. So in a lot of ways that helps. It's just something we all go through. It's like dying, most people have pets. And if you buy a pet, guess what? You're going to outlive that pet. So it's just the way it is. So just knowing, like, when I'm describing a painful situation that so many people, know and understand and can directly relate to that. It's the same thing with me when I see what other people go through, losing a loved one, losing a pet. I've been there, so I can relate, and it makes me offer sympathy. I do the same thing. Anytime I see anybody on social media or somebody that I know or a friend going through anything, I'm there to offer my support because I know what it's like.
How white do you think your teeth really are? Let's try the tissue test. Ugh, still yellow. Is toothpaste white?
What's up, Resident Evil?
White strips safely work below the enamel surface for whiter teeth in 3 days. Guaranteed. A zillion times whiter. Crest.
That's an interesting fact there, Marcus in the Entertainer. I did not know the ring dimensions of AEW. I was assuming it was 20 by 20, because it's easy to tell when it's an 18 by 18, but I wasn't aware of that extra apron space. So, yeah, it's probably closer to an 18-18. That is interesting. Oh, yeah, they do. Actually, now that I see that, they actually do, don't they? They do allow for a little more room. Wow, big moonsault miss from Hayter. She delivered it well, though. Knew exactly what she was doing up there. Wasn't shaky or wobbly. Running knee. Whew. We got 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left in the show. Come on, Sheeta. Pin her. Ooh, nice. Oh, big clothesline. That's it. Nope. Come on. Hayter's going to win. Hayter's going to retain here, so let's just do it. Beat her and beat her clean. You don't even need help to win this. Sheeta's a former women's champion. This would be a big win for Hayter to put her down clean with no help from Rebel or Baker. So just do it. Crowd's into it. Happy to see that. Oh, Backbreaker. Nah, that's not the finish. Yeah, that deal, that would be an interesting pet if you get a tortoise. I mean, tortoises like that live so long, I hope that she's not keeping it from its natural habitat by keeping it like that. Hopefully it's in a nice place and it enjoys its environment. But yeah, those things live forever. But again, a tortoise, Bub would crawl up in my lap and lay on my legs and always want to be around me and just sit next to me until 3 a.m. while I edited a video. A tortoise won't do that. But technically will live the whole time. Oh, nice German. Here's Britt. Britt's up on the apron. Sheeta's got Britt. All right, we're going to the finish here. We got less than 2 minutes left. Catches Britt with a springboard. Kick to the face, and now she's got the kendo to use potentially on... Oh, Britt, okay. Britt got taken out, and now she's... Hayter's going to counter this. She'll counter it. Yep, here we go. Power bomb or something. Nope. Wow, that's it. Nope. No. Not yet. You better hurry. TV time remaining. I am so loving this match because here I thought you were going to need something extra at the end of this thing to justify it being the main event, but you do not. That's it. Whoa. Oh, my God. I thought that was the end. That is the end with the ripcord. Whew. Jamie worked for it. Holy shit. That was an incredible near fall. I thought Sheeta had it for real. Or Hayter had it for real. Sheeta kicked out. Bravo. Excellent match. Excellent match. Better than I thought it would be. Now, I kind of predicted a run-in, a return, or a heel turn. We may not get either. We may get none of it. Look at Britt's taking it to Sheeta. I like it. Okay, we might get the run-in part. I said that would happen. So where? Saraya? Nope. Here comes Saraya. There's her music. I can already tell. Nope, it's Tony. Oh, and Hayter. Saraya, where you at? Oh, yeah, Tony did bust her nose open. I forgot about that. Here she is. About time. Here comes Saraya sprinting. Who'd she take out, Rebel? Her and Britt. Here we go. Oh, I thought Saraya was going to follow up with some more offense. She just yelled at her. Britt looks really good. I really like how she looks. All right. That might be some sort of 6-woman thing going on Rampage or Reno. We'll have to see. Good match. Great main event. Well, we got the run-in part that I thought that we would get. Jimmy Fingers, thanks for $5. 19 more. Not to get too personal, did Bub go on his own or did you have him come to the house? I am facing the same decision soon. Yes, I talked about this in the beginning. One of the things that I said is that my advice to anyone who might have to deal with this in the future is that search out at-home euthanasia for your pets in your town because most towns have this service. I got really lucky. I did a little internet search and found a guy and read his reviews, and the reviews were so incredible. Every single one was sort of a variation of the same thing. without this doctor, he made everything so easy and made everything at peace, gave us all the time we needed, explained everything and what was going to happen and how it was going to go down. And, without him, we wouldn't have been able to have the peace that we have. And like every review was so good. So I called him up and he was pretty much available 24/7. He could come in the middle of the night. Oh, sorry, Victor, I'll get to that in a minute. He could have just came whenever. And I already called him way back in February when I thought I was going to have to put Bub down, and then kind of reconnected with him late this year when I could see that we might be getting close to time. And he's like, just let me know and I can be there. So the late Thursday night when Bub, it was early Friday morning, probably 3 a.m. when Bub attempted to go to the bathroom, and I saw that things weren't going well. And I was like, that's it. I did without hesitation. I just picked him right up, brought him right back in here, put him back on his blanket. And I texted the guy right away. I'm like, can you come in the morning? I'm like, I think I'm going to stay with him for a few hours. I was like, but as soon as you can be here, please come. And he did. He came right away, and he was very, very, very good. So it's great to know that that's an option. And I think that's best for your pet because they're comfortable at home. They're not comfortable in a strange place or in a back room of a vet on a cold steel table. He got to be right here on his own blanket with me holding him, so it was, I was the last person he saw, that type of thing. So that provides a lot of comfort. So yes, Jimmy, if you are facing the same decision soon, doing it at home, provided you can find someone with a good reputation who has good reviews and things like that. Just don't go with anybody. Find somebody who's experienced and does this. And this guy puts everything down from cats to dogs to horses. He was awesome. And he came right over, knew right what to do, and handled it. And he was extremely compassionate and kind. And that helped, allowed us to take our time to do whatever we needed to do and all that stuff. So he was great. And at the end of the day, it's only slightly more expensive than what it would cost to do it at the vet. It's not like you're paying an arm and a leg for this service. It's relatively affordable, and you should definitely do it. So for sure, Jimmy. Sorry, Victor. What did I owe you from earlier? I didn't see it. Oh, yeah, I did. And I forgot that you sent that. That was right in the middle of the match. But thank you for that, Victor. Glad to see you're streaming and hope you are doing okay. I'm doing better, man. I'm doing fine now. The weekend and, Bub passed away very early Friday morning is when we did it. So I basically had all Friday, all Saturday, all Sunday, all Monday to kind of just process it. And I went back to work yesterday, and we're back streaming tonight. So the plan for the week, since we do have the Christmas holiday up and I've already missed a lot of time, I feel like there's some wrestling news and stuff we've got to catch up on. So I'm going to do a Friday afternoon Winged Eagle podcast prior to SmackDown on Friday that should stick some content on the channel to go through the weekend. That way, if you guys need watching or listening material for Christmas or Christmas Eve or anything like that, you've got some fresh content on the channel to do that. And that's my plan for Friday. So stay tuned on the channel for that. In the meantime, have a good night tonight. I appreciate you guys being here this evening and watching Dynamite with me. Definitely feels good to be back streaming again and kind of get back into that vibe. And happy to be here. So thanks again for all your support. Thank you for all your love. And thank you for all your support as always, guys. I will catch you Friday afternoon right before the Christmas holiday. And we'll talk about some wrestling news then.